Yo, what is up, guys? So today we're talking about the featherweight fight between Jacob Kilburn and Austin Lingo at UFC Fight Night Holly vs. Cater. And guys, before I get into the video, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Also, in the comment section below, put who you guys think is going to win this featherweight fight. Is it going to be Jacob Kilburn or is it going to be Austin Lingo? Put that in the comment section below. But guys, so Jacob Kilburn is the 167th best featherweight fighter in the world. Austin Lingo, the 156th best featherweight fighter in the world. They're both coming off of losses inside the UFC. Austin Lingo 7-1 as a pro MMA fighter, coming off a loss to Youssef Zalal, his only pro MMA loss around 10.5 months ago by unanimous decision. Jacob Kilburn 8-3 as a pro MMA fighter. His last loss to Billy Quarantillo by triangle choke submission around a year ago. He is the plus 180 slight underdog to win the fight. Austin Lingo the minus 215 a moderate favorite to win the fight. They're similar ages. Jacob Kilburn is 25.5 years old. Austin Lingo is 26.5 years old. So no age advantage for either fighter in the fight. Now, Austin Lingo is 5 foot 10 inches tall, 1 inch taller than Jacob Kilburn, as Jacob Kilburn is 5 foot 9 inches tall, so a little height advantage there for Austin Lingo in this fight. But Jacob Kilburn does have the reach advantage, as he has a reach of 72 inches compared to Austin Lingo's reach of only 70 inches, so a good advantage there for Jacob Kilburn in this fight. And as I said at the beginning of the video, Austin Lingo is a minus 215 moderate favorite to win the fight. Jacob Kilburn a plus 180 slight underdog to win the fight. And even if you look at the tabloid predictions for this fight, out of 870 different votes, 13% of the vote going for Jacob Kilburn to win the fight, mainly by unanimous decision. And then some people, a very small fraction of the tabloid predictions, are saying he's going to get a submission or a knockout in the fight. 87% of the vote are going for Austin Lingo to win the fight, mainly by unanimous decision. And then a lot of people have him win the fight by knockout as well. Literally no one thinks that Austin Lingo is going to get a submission. In my opinion, I don't see either fighter getting a finish in this one. I think this fight is going to go all the way, and one of these two featherweights is going to walk out of here with a unanimous decision win. The other, whoever loses the fight, might actually be cut from the UFC, because at that point, they would be 0-2 inside the UFC, and Dana might just have to cut them from the promotion. But guys, Jacob Kilburn has achieved a pro MMA record of 8 wins and 3 losses. His amateur career was a little bit similar to that, as he had a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. He started his amateur career back in 2013, got a first round rear naked choke submission win in 24 seconds into that very first round over Derek Herron, got 2 wins over Ricardo Luna and Derek Johnson, lost his first fight by decision to Carlos Garnett Jr., got a third round rear naked choke submission win over Central Basilton, lost his next fight by split decision in a very close loss to Curtis Connor, came back with a second round triangle choke submission loss to Josh Stanley, came back with a split decision win over Jordan Collins, a split decision win over Ricky Jones Jr., and then a first round guillotine over Sean Nickel. And that is actually where he decided to become a pro MMA fighter in 2016. And he started with a nice win over Kevin Henry, a second round guillotine choke submission win over Elliot Blair, a third round arm lock submission win over Anthony Lorenzo, lost his next fight to Ruben War by third round rear naked choke submission, came back with a second round knockout and then 2 decision wins, got a shot on Dana White's Contender Series that lost that fight by second round dart stroke to Bobby Maffei, came back with a second round knockout and then another first round knockout over Giovanni J. Ross, and got a shot inside the UFC in 2019, back in December, on December 7th of 2019 against Billy Quarantillo, but lost that fight by second round triangle choke submission and looks to come back with a win here over Austin Lingo in this fight. Alright guys, so Austin Lingo has achieved a pro MMA record of 7 wins with only 1 loss. His amateur career was a little bit shorter than Jacob Kilburn's. He only had 4 fights in his amateur career. He started back in 2016 with a second round knockout win over Edgar Monares, who was undefeated at the time. Got a knockout win over another undefeated fighter in Austin Wilson. Got another first round knockout win over Francisco de los Cobos, who was undefeated at 3-0 at the time. But in his next fight at LFA 1, ended up getting his first ever amateur loss to Charles Williams by first round knockout in 18 seconds of the very first round. But after that, he became a pro, and guess who he fought in his pro MMA debut? Well, it was the only man to ever beat him in his amateur career, in Charles Williams. The last time they faced was his last ever amateur fight, and he lost that fight by first round knockout in 18 seconds into the very first round. But this time, it was a much different. This was a pro MMA fight, and Austin Lingo went out there and absolutely dominated the fight, giving Charles Williams his first ever pro MMA loss, as he ended up winning the fight by unanimous decision. In his next fight in 2018, got a first round guillotine choke submission win over Josh Foster, a first round knockout win over Omar Benjar, then got a unanimous decision win over Phil Gonzalez, got a first round knockout win in 18 seconds of the very first round over Aaron Webb, and then in his next fight got a first round rear naked choke submission win over Angel Luis Cruz, and in his next fight it was a main event at LFA 73, Lingo versus Haley Jr. got a first round knockout win in 25 seconds into the very first round. That was absolutely insane, and the UFC was like, alright man, this dude is looking really, really good, getting a lot of finishes inside of the LFA, a lot of amazing wins inside of the LFA, so they gave him a shot inside the UFC, but unfortunate for him, he ended up fighting Youssef Zalal, an absolute beast, and he ended up getting his first ever pro MMA loss, as he lost that fight by unanimous decision, and looks to come back with a win here over Jacob Kilburn in this fight. Alright guys, so if you look at how Austin Lingo actually wins his fights, 3 of his wins are coming by knockout, 2 of those wins are coming by submission, and 2 of the wins are coming by unanimous decision. Out of his losses, only 1 pro MMA loss coming to Youssef Zalal. That one was by unanimous decision. Jacob Kilburn is a little bit different. His wins and losses are a little bit different than that of Austin Lingo's. Out of his wins, 4 of those wins are by knockout, 2 of the wins are by submission, and then 2 of the wins are by decision. Out of his 3 losses, however, every single one of those losses is by submission. That is absolutely insane. For every single one of your losses to be by submission, if you go against any really good submission artist, you're going to lose the fight. And Austin Lingo, he's not the best submission guy. He only has 2 submissions. But even though his submission skills aren't really the best, his striking skills are very good. Austin Lingo, every single time he walks out there in the cage, he tries to get a knockout in the first round. If he cannot get the knockout in the first round, he goes out there and tries to get the knockout in the second round. If he can not get the knockout in the first or second round, he goes out there in the third round and tries to get the knockout. He's always going for the finish. Most of his wins coming by finish, only 2 going all the way, and him winning by unanimous decision. Do I see either fighter getting a finish in this one? I don't really think so. I think this fight is going to go all the way. And honestly, wherever this fight goes, I actually think that Austin Lingo will have the advantage. Obviously, if the fight stays on the feet, Austin Lingo will have the advantage, and if he keeps the fight on the feet, 100% Austin Lingo will win the fight by unanimous decision. But if the fight goes to the ground, it's going to be a little bit even. I still would give the edge, a very slight edge of that, to Austin Lingo to win the fight there. But still, I think the fight is going to stay on the feet for the most part, and Austin Lingo is going to do amazing in his striking game over Jacob Kilburn, and 100% I have Austin Lingo winning this fight by unanimous decision. Alright guys, so if you agree or even disagree with that prediction, put your predictions in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you guys think is going to happen in this featherweight fight. Do some of you have Jacob Kilburn going out there and somehow, some way getting a submission in this fight? Do you guys have Austin Lingo going out there and getting a front kick KO, Lyoto Machida style, over Jacob Kilburn in this fight? I mean, anything can happen. This is an MMA fight. Anything can happen. Make sure to like the video if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to put on those post notifications so you guys don't miss when we post a new video. And guys, we just made a new series on the channel called Monday Matchmaker. Every single Monday of every single week, we look at a division inside the UFC and we look at which fighters inside of the top 15 should fight each other. That series is going to be absolutely insane. So if you guys don't want to miss that series, subscribe to the channel. That is it for the video. I'm out of here.